Have you ever looked at an ordinary Australian 10-cent coin and wondered if it could secretly be worth far more than its face value? What if a coin that most people ignore every single day could actually become one of the most exciting discoveries in a collector's pocket? Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world for its history, quality, and the possibility that the right example could be worth as much as $100 or even more under the right circumstances. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Old Coin, because every week we reveal hidden treasures, rare coins, valuable errors, and incredible stories that could change the way you look at the coins in your own collection. The Australian 10-cent coin has become one of the most recognizable decimal coins in Australia. While millions of these coins pass through people's hands every year without attracting much attention, experienced collectors know that every date has its own story, and the 2006 issue is no exception. At first glance, this coin may appear completely ordinary. It has a familiar design, a small silver-colored appearance, and a value that seems insignificant in everyday life. But beneath that simple design lies decades of history, remarkable craftsmanship, and a collecting market that continues to grow as more people discover the fascinating world of numismatics. Australia officially introduced decimal currency on February 14, 1966, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The introduction of decimal currency marked one of the most important financial changes in Australian history. It modernized the nation's monetary system and created a completely new family of coins that Australians still use today. Among these coins was the humble 10-cent piece, designed not only to serve commerce, but also to represent Australia's unique identity through beautiful artistic design. The reverse of the Australian 10-cent coin features one of Australia's most beloved native birds, the superb lyrebird. This magnificent bird is famous for its extraordinary ability to imitate the sounds of other birds, animals, and even human-made noises. It has long been regarded as one of nature's greatest performers. The elegant image of the lyrebird was created by renowned Australian artist Stuart Devlin, whose work appears on several Australian decimal coins. His detailed engraving transformed a simple circulating coin into a miniature work of art admired by collectors worldwide. Even decades after its introduction, the graceful lyrebird remains one of the most recognizable coin designs ever produced by the Royal Australian Mint. The obverse of the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. During 2006, Australia continued using the portrait designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This realistic depiction of the Queen reflected the modern era of Australian coinage and remained in use for many years. Around the portrait appears the inscription identifying Queen Elizabeth II as the monarch of Australia, reminding collectors that Australian coins are not only pieces of currency, but also historical records of the nation's constitutional heritage. The 2006 Australian 10-cent coin was primarily struck by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. Unlike some countries that use multiple mint facilities with different mint marks, standard Australian circulating coins from the Royal Australian Mint generally do not carry a traditional mint mark. Therefore, most 2006 circulation strikes have no mint mark visible on the coin. This often surprises new collectors who expect every coin to display a letter indicating its place of manufacture. Instead, the Royal Australian Mint's reputation for high-quality production speaks for itself through the sharpness and consistency of its coinage. From a technical perspective, the coin demonstrates impressive engineering. The Australian 10-cent coin is struck in cupronickel, an alloy consisting primarily of copper and nickel. This durable composition resists corrosion and allows coins to remain in circulation for decades while retaining much of their original appearance. The coin measures approximately 23.6 millimeters in diameter, weighs about 5.65 grams, and features a reeded edge that not only enhances its appearance, but also helps protect against wear and counterfeiting. Every specification reflects careful planning to produce a coin that balances durability, beauty, and practicality. The minting process itself is an extraordinary achievement of precision manufacturing. Before becoming a finished coin, each blank planchet is carefully prepared, cleaned, and inspected. High-pressure coining presses then strike both sides simultaneously using hardened steel dies engraved with intricate designs. Hundreds of tons of pressure force every tiny detail into the metal within a fraction of a second. This remarkable process produces millions of nearly identical coins, yet subtle differences in die wear, striking pressure, or production quality can sometimes create variations that later become highly desirable among collectors. Although the standard 2006 Australian 10-cent coin is common in circulation, collectors always examine each example carefully because unusual varieties and mint errors occasionally emerge. Die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, double strikes, and die chips are among the production errors that can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Genuine mint errors are created during the manufacturing process rather than after the coin enters circulation. Because these errors are relatively uncommon, collectors are often willing to pay substantial premiums for authenticated examples. One of the biggest questions surrounding this coin concerns its market value. Most circulated 2006 Australian 10-cent coins remain worth only their face value or a modest collector premium. However, coins preserved in exceptional uncirculated condition, especially those showing strong original mint luster with virtually no contact marks, can command significantly higher prices than ordinary circulated examples. Certified high-grade specimens, graded by respected third-party grading services, often attract strong interest from serious collectors who compete for the finest known examples. Some online listings and collector discussions have suggested that certain 2006 Australian 10-cent coins may be worth around $100. It is important to understand why such values exist. A price near $100 generally applies only to coins with exceptional qualities, such as superb mint state grades, scarce authenticated mint errors, unusual die varieties, or examples sold in competitive collector markets. An average circulated coin found in everyday pocket change is highly unlikely to achieve such a value. Understanding this distinction helps collectors make informed decisions and avoid unrealistic expectations. Condition remains one of the most important factors influencing any coin's value. Professional grading evaluates several characteristics, including wear, strike quality, surface preservation, luster, eye appeal, and overall originality. A coin graded mint state 65 or higher typically commands much stronger collector demand than one showing significant circulation wear. Tiny differences that appear insignificant to beginners can sometimes result in dramatic differences in market value. This is why experienced collectors often examine coins under magnification and proper lighting before making purchasing decisions. Authentication is equally essential. As collectible coin values increase, counterfeit examples become more common in the marketplace. Genuine Australian 10-cent coins should display accurate weight, diameter, thickness, edge reading, lettering, and design details. Any coin that appears suspicious because of unusual color, incorrect dimensions, poor quality engraving, or magnetic behavior should be examined carefully. Purchasing certified coins from reputable dealers or having valuable specimens authenticated by respected grading companies provides additional confidence for collectors and investors alike. Collectors also appreciate the historical context surrounding the year 2006. Australia enjoyed a period of economic stability, technological advancement, and continued international recognition. Every circulating coin produced during this period quietly participated in daily Australian life, changing hands through countless transactions, traveling across cities, towns, and rural communities. Each surviving coin carries an invisible story of the people who used it, making numismatics not merely the study of money, but also the study of history itself. Many beginning collectors overlook the importance of preservation. Proper storage can protect a coin's value for decades. Coins should be handled only by their edges to avoid fingerprints and oils damaging the surfaces. Protective holders, archival quality coin flips, capsules, or albums help prevent scratches and environmental contamination. Cleaning should almost always be avoided because even gentle polishing can permanently damage the original surfaces and significantly reduce collector value. In numismatics, originality is often more valuable than artificial shine. Interest in Australian decimal coinage continues to expand internationally. Collectors appreciate Australia's beautiful wildlife designs, consistent minting quality, and rich history. The lyrebird design remains particularly popular because it represents one of Australia's most unique native species. As more collectors build complete date sets of Australian decimal coins, demand for attractive examples from every year, including 2006, continues to support the market. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is the excitement created by searching through everyday change. Many collectors began their hobby simply by examining coins received from shops, banks, or family members. The possibility of discovering an overlooked variety or an unusually well-preserved example keeps the hobby exciting. Even when valuable coins are not found immediately, the experience of learning history, understanding minting technology, and appreciating artistic design makes every search worthwhile. Auction records demonstrate that exceptional coins consistently outperform ordinary examples. Whenever collectors witness record prices, those results almost always involve extraordinary circumstances such as ultra-high grades, rare mint errors, or historically significant varieties. Headlines reporting impressive auction values should always be understood within this context. They do not mean that every coin of the same date automatically possesses identical value. Knowledge remains the collector's greatest advantage. For investors considering collectible coins, the 2006 Australian 10-cent serves as an excellent reminder that successful collecting requires patience, education, and careful research. Rather than purchasing coins based solely on sensational price claims, experienced collectors focus on quality, authenticity, rarity, and long-term demand. Building a collection gradually while learning about grading standards and market trends often proves more rewarding than chasing unrealistic expectations. Perhaps the greatest lesson hidden within this small coin is that history often survives in the most ordinary objects. Millions of people may overlook a simple 10-cent coin every day, yet collectors recognize that every date represents a unique chapter in Australia's continuing story. Whether preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, discovered as a fascinating mint error, or simply appreciated for its artistic beauty, the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin reminds us that even everyday currency can become an enduring historical artifact. The next time you receive Australian coins in your change, don't rush to spend them without taking a closer look. Examine the date, inspect the surfaces, study the lyrebird's intricate feathers, and appreciate the remarkable craftsmanship that transformed a small piece of metal into a lasting symbol of Australia's heritage. You never know when careful observation might reveal a coin that stands apart from the millions of ordinary examples. Thank you for watching Old Coin. If you enjoyed discovering the history, design, rarity, and potential value of the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Old Coin, and turn on notifications so you never miss another fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Share this video with fellow collectors. Leave a comment telling us whether you've ever found an interesting Australian coin in your collection. And remember, sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket can hold the biggest story.